The Fifth Amendment to the Constitution guarantees you several rights, one of which is the right to remain silent. That means you cannot be forced to testify if your testimony, that is, your sworn statements, could possibly expose you to criminal liability. This often crops up in cases in the district court, criminal-wise, where there's an assault and battery, a domestic assault, or something along those lines. If it turns out that the alleged victim in one of those cases took part in what's considered a mutual combat situation, basically that is where both parties are physically assaulting the other ones. If that's the case, then the alleged victim, if that's you, could have a Fifth Amendment issue. That is, your testimony could tend to incriminate you if you got on the stand and you said that, yes, I pushed this person, I slapped him or her, or I struck them in any manner. That could be considered an assault and battery. You would not want to testify in that case if you were concerned that you would be charged with such a crime. Even if in that situation you were defending yourself and you have a valid self-defense defense. Merely the idea that you could be exposed to criminal liability gives rise to the Fifth Amendment protections. If that's the case, then you would consider not testifying. We also see the Fifth Amendment implicated where a person gives a false statement to the police. That could be considered filing a false police report, which is a criminal offense. If you were to take the stand and contradict what you said to the police, either in person or a sworn statement, you could be prosecuted for filing a false police report. That may not be something that you want to do. You'd have to consider that. If that's the case, then when you go to court, someone will raise that issue and an attorney will be assigned to you if you do not already have one. That attorney will be assigned to you specifically to determine if you have a valid Fifth Amendment issue. The attorney will speak with you to get information about the underlying case. If he or she feels that you have a valid Fifth Amendment issue, that's the first step. The next step is to decide what you want to do about that. Now, this step is totally up to you. You can invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege and not testify. Or you can testify anyway and waive your Fifth Amendment privilege. Many times, if the alleged victim or a witness has a Fifth Amendment issue and invokes that Fifth Amendment privilege, the Commonwealth does not have enough evidence to go forward with the underlying case. So, for instance, as I said, we often see these cases where someone is charged with assault and battery on a family or household member, domestic violence. If the alleged victim was also involved in the physical struggle in any way, that person may have a Fifth Amendment issue. The question is going to be whether or not you want to invoke that and not testify, knowing that the not testifying could end up in a dismissal on the underlying case. If you are in that situation, you would go before the judge with the lawyer that's been appointed to you, and the judge will put you under oath and ask you a few questions. The lawyer will indicate that you do have a Fifth Amendment privilege in his or her legal opinion, and the judge will want to know what you want to do. Do you want to invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege and not testify, or do you want to waive your Fifth Amendment privilege and testify anyway? The judge will probably put you on notice that if you do invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege and refuse to testify, that the case could be dismissed. If that's okay with you, you can go forward and the rest of the case will take care of itself. The most important thing for you is to listen to your attorney as he or she gives you that advice. As I say, the choice whether you want to invoke or not is up to you. But you should be aware of what the consequences are. If you have any further questions, please feel free to visit us at affordlaw.org or give us a call for a free consultation. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions.